Another story I wanted to tell real quick is in 1970, Brian was in turn 1, stand E, with his dad during practice. And my mama was with me, and she had her big bouffant, and we were in the infield. And all of a sudden, Mario had just gone into turn 1 in the McNamara. Of course, it was the Dayglow color. And here comes a tornado, which we didn't know. It looked like the Wizard of Oz above the penthouse coming over. And my mom goes, "We better go." I go, "I don't want to." So anyway, the tornado's coming over the track, and the green chairs are flying over the racetrack out of the grandstands. And Brian and his dad went down to the stairs, and as they got to the stairs, all the green chairs were following them. And my mom and I were thrown to the ground. And back then they had wooden toilet rooms. And we crawled into the toilet room. The hail and the rain was completely sideways. Guy came up beside my mom and I with the umbrella, and I'm looking at my mom. She's like, "Oh, why is he doing this?" And he was gone. We had no idea. I mean, it was just like that. Wow. And we crawled in there, and it ended up just a little east of the Speedway, hit a shopping center and blew it up. But that was an enjoyable day that day.
My dad and I were up in Grandstand E in turn 1. And if you ever go in Grandstand E, you actually, when you walk up the stairs, as you know, you're halfway up the grandstand when you actually come into the grandstand, right? So you've got all these chairs that are above you. I don't know, probably 20, 30 rows above you. And we were all the way down at the bottom by the wall, and back then it was all the individual green folding chairs, right? And that storm hit, and those chairs started coming down like an avalanche. And my dad and I have to run up towards them as they're coming down to make it to the entranceway to actually get out of the grandstand before we were buried. And I remember going down the steps and looking up, and you could see all those chairs coming over the top. And yeah, it was an interesting moment at the Speedway.
I'll tell you how stupid we are. 1974 for qualifying. Remember Tom Sneva out there, his rookie year out there on the track, and Brian and I were sitting in the grandstands. We had a tornado come over during qualifying. You could actually see it spinning. Never came down, but you could see the funnel cloud spinning. We're still sitting up in the stands, lightning. We got a blanket over our heads. We ain't leaving the seats.
Now that, they chase you away if there's lightning 10 miles away, they shut everything down. But yeah, they didn't back then.
We had 200,000 people in the seats back then. We weren't losing our seat out of turn 4. And so we sat up there during the storm, and it's like, hell, we didn't think anything about it. It was just lightning.
We were so blessed to grow up when we did over there. I mean, during the late 60s, early 70s, all of the great, Brabham, Clark, Rent, Home, Revson, Gurney. I mean, we saw all those guys, and what a great time to